In a sport where people are mean, tough, and scary, I sometimes find it amusing that this man is the most deadly shooter in NBA history, and the fact that he's currently the undisputed best player in the NBA. Anyway, guys, I got some Warriors news and updates here. Man, it might make you jump up and down, and possibly scream a little. Similar to how this guy's doing it here.
Apparently he's 2 steps ahead of his teammates. Look at him waving people over. This wheel action is bouncing up and down.
I wonder if he downed a bottle of booze, or a few bottles of booze, before doing that. But anyway, coincidentally, this dude Draymond Green is actually on top of my list today. You see, although his overall game was good this past season, he didn't shoot particularly well. 45% from the field, 27% from the three-point line, and missing what would have been a game-winning shot that would have propelled the Warriors to the playoffs.
Curry makes his moves, finds Green. Green drives down a lane, the floater's up, no good, overtime.
Oh well, what's done is done. But we all know Draymond is one of the ultimate competitors currently in the NBA. And although he didn't say this in the media, I'm sure deep inside he feels like he let the team down. Well, as a result, he's been practicing his shooting like never before. This offseason, Green stated his commitment to improving his shooting. And according to Steve Kerr, Draymond's been shooting the hell out of the ball. In fact, Steve Kerr went on to say, "I rebounded for Draymond pregame the other day for his shooting routine. First time I've ever done it. I'm not kidding." The Warriors GM Bob Myers went on to say, "We've seen Draymond shoot. He's more than capable. We're not asking somebody to do something they haven't done." When we sat with him during exit interviews, I said, "Draymond, if you were me talking to yourself, what would you say?" And he said, "Shoot the damn ball. I need you to score." If Draymond can get anywhere near his 2015-2016 form, where he shot 49% from the field and 39% from three-point land, the NBA really needs to be wary, especially because of this next point. Steph Curry was one of 3 MVP finalists this past season, and according to the odds makers at PointsBet.com, he's expected to be somewhere within the top 5 for MVP voting next season as well. Curry tore up the league this past season, averaging 32 points on 48, 42, 92 shooting splits, en route to winning his second scoring title. And I'd bet 10 cases of Mountain Dew that he'll be doing something similar next season, or perhaps even better. So if we pair up MVP-level Steph Curry alongside a version of Draymond Green similar to his 2015-2016 season, how could things possibly get better? Well, according to the Warriors head coach Steve Kerr, he believes James Wiseman, the number 2 overall pick in 2020, can develop similarly to DeAndre Ayton, the young Phoenix Suns center. Steve Kerr said, "The most interesting thing has been watching DeAndre Ayton. I talked to James and text him. I'm just so inspired by what Ayton's been able to do, and I think there's no reason why James can't follow that same path. The Suns really streamlined his game. You think back a couple years ago, and he was kind of all over the map. You could tell how gifted he was, but you weren't exactly sure what he was. They figured it out. I'm watching Ayton quite a bit, and I'm thinking a lot about how we can use James and simplify the game and make him really effective for us next year." Additionally, unlike last year, Wiseman will be available to come into training camp. From Kerr's mouth himself, he's right on schedule for everything, and as of now, the medical team tells me he'll be ready for camp. Everything seems to be going right so far for the Warriors this offseason, and that includes the other Splash brother, the beast of the Bay, Klay Thompson. Steve Kerr spoke with Anthony Slater at The Athletic recently and went on to say this about Klay's rehab progress. "Not full contact yet, but starting to really get movement on the court. He's still a ways away from actually playing basketball in a 5-on-5 setting, but there's a big step with the Achilles when you can actually start running again. It's a huge psychological boost. The rest of the body gets going. You start feeling that soreness and aches and pains that actually feel good when you've been out for a while." He's at that point. In addition to Klay being able to move more on the court, it looks to me like he's got his splash back.
Jackie Moore! Woo!
Man, I cannot wait to see the dynamic edge Klay's going to provide when he's back on the hardwood court. Now, let's move on to the last member of the Warriors starting 5. That's Andrew Wiggins, a.k.a. Mr. Consistent, a.k.a. Two-Way Wiggs. Now, I'm not sure if y'all tuned into Canada's Olympic qualifying games, but Although Canada was ultimately eliminated, Wiggins was, might I say, carrying his team. And it all started with a 9-point comeback against the Czechs, with less than a minute left in the fourth quarter, which forced overtime.
There's the steal. Wiggins has it. Canada has a chance to tie. Wiggins for three. Sure!
This was probably one of the biggest shots of Andrew Wiggins' career, and leveled him up like never before. We all know that Andrew Wiggins just finished his best regular season ever with the Warriors, on both ends of the court. And the scary thing is, he's only 26 this year, and just scratching at his prime. I expect him to be even better next year, especially when Klay Thompson returns. Moving on. What's crazy about all these off-season news and updates is the hype is real. According to betonline.com, where people put their money where their mouth is, the Warriors are third favorite to win it all. The betting site has the Brooklyn Nets as favorite at plus 275, followed by the Lakers at plus 450, and then Dub Nation at third, with odds at plus 800. Which means that if you bet $100 and the Golden State Warriors win it all, you win $800. The Warriors were the 8th seed this year, before the play-in tournament, and were practically a project team. Next year, things in the Bay Area are going to get real serious. And the crazy thing is, the off-season developments aren't even finished yet. I mean, I heard news reports that the Cavaliers might buy out Kevin Love's contract. You know if that happens, Love would have a 90% chance of joining the Warriors on a veteran's minimum contract. Man, imagine Kevin Love joining the Warriors on a minimum contract, which doesn't really affect the Warriors' salary cap issues. That is just insane. And it doesn't stop there either. The Warriors signed Wiseman last season at number 2 and missed out on LaMelo, who went number 3. But it seems the Warriors can still get another Melo. I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony. Word on the street is that the Warriors are interested in bringing Carmelo to the Bay Area. And if he signs, he can be that veteran presence the Warriors need coming off the bench, and give you 10 points per game while shooting 40% from beyond the arc, like he did last season. Next off, the 2021 NBA Draft is going to go down at the end of July, and with 2 lottery picks, and in one of the best draft classes since 2003, Klay Thompson went on to say, "How do I feel about the draft? Great. 2 lotto picks don't come around too often. We call those assets in the business world, and business is booming." Whether or not the Warriors decide to develop and play the draft picks, or they decide to trade for an all-star caliber player, all the pieces of a championship puzzle seem to be coming together all at once for the Warriors after a 2-year playoff drought. The Warriors are in a good place, whether they decide to keep the team or make a blockbuster trade. And speaking of a blockbuster trade, do you know what time it is? If you're on the West Coast, it might be 5 p.m. If you're on the East Coast, it might be 8 p.m. But whenever you're in the fourth quarter, with time running down, it doesn't matter where you are, it is Dame time. There have been some internal discussions of Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard, heading to the Bay Area, and I cover it all here in this next video. This is the biggest superstar trade available in the entire NBA this offseason, and it requires a lot of thought to navigate this properly, and I am sure you'll be intrigued. Anyway, click the video guys, watch it, and I'll see you on the other side. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.